What I know about is Texas. Down here, you're on your own.
What you're watching now is a fake trailer, meaning the film hasn't been shot, casted, or in most cases written, made by the Coen Brothers, who had no connections, no studio backing, and no money. But with this one brilliant marketing move, they managed to raise over $2 million for their first film, get it made, and launch a career that would define modern cinema. How did they do it? And could filmmakers today do the same? Let's break this down. In 1982, Joel and Ethan Coen, two brothers from Minnesota, had an idea for a crime thriller called Blood Simple.
But neither of them were film school prodigies. They had to take small jobs just to make ends meet.
I was working in New York as an assistant editor on mostly very low-budget horror films, the best of which was Sam's movie, The Evil Dead.
Sam Raimi. The same Sam Raimi who would go on to make the breakout Spider-Man film series and direct Doctor Strange. But while working with Raimi, Joel saw something that changed his life.
Sam had essentially financed the movie independently by going around and soliciting private investments from very small amounts of money from business people and doctors and dentists in Detroit.
When we went to people knocking on doors and showing them a short version of the film we intended to make for money, they were still struck by the novelty of the thing, not having lived in a film production town. So it could have been a great advantage, the fact that we were asking for this money in a place that they don't make films.
Very small amounts of money from business people and doctors and dentists in Detroit, and cobbled together enough money to make that movie, which was probably about $100,000 when he started.
We made a Super 8 pilot of the film we intended to make, and that was called Within the Woods. And what I did was took the screenplay for Evil Dead, took a number of the elements from it, and wrote a very short story. We filmed it, and it ran about 30 minutes, and we used it to show the investors exactly what kind of film they'd be buying into, because we had no track record, and they needed some sort of tangible proof that we could in fact make a movie of professional quality.
And so we looked at that and we thought, well,
the Coens realized this is how we get Blood Simple made.
Sam sort of taught us that if you ask people to, call them up on the phone and ask people to invest in a movie, they'd tell you to go to hell. But if you said, I have a piece of film I want to show you, then some of them would let you to come into their living room and set up your little projector and show it to them.
But unlike Raimi, they didn't have enough money to make a whole short film. So they did the next best thing.
We'll make a little trailer for the movie before we've made the movie, and went out and shot and designed this thing that looked like a trailer for a movie and was very sort of action-oriented, but you never saw the faces of the actors because we hadn't made the movie yet.
For months, they lugged a huge projector and put on a show for doctors, lawyers, and small business owners. Anyone who had money and might want to take part in a movie project. And it worked. With just a trailer, 67 people gave a total of $750,000.
And with inflation, that is a little over $2.5 million.
They shot Blood Simple using every trick they had to make it look bigger than what it was.
Having a good time?
Hey, what's it?
Your husband.
The result? A film that looked like a Hollywood thriller, but was made for a fraction of the cost. But even after finishing the film, they hit another roadblock.
When the movie came out, your expectations was it chiefly to try to get your investors paid back?
Yeah.
Yes, two things. The investors paid back and enough people seeing the movie to let us make another movie. There just weren't that many people like us.
Doing it independently. All the studios were going, sure, we'll take a look at it.
None
and they
of
all
them
said,
were interested.
no, we don't know what to do with this or even what it is.
People were very polite in telling us to go fuck ourselves.
No one wanted to distribute it. All the investors' money was about to go down the toilet. Blood Simple didn't fit in the mainstream Hollywood mold. It was a slow burn, neo-noir thriller with dark humor and unconventional storytelling, which made distributors skeptical about its commercial appeal. That is, until...
It was just about the point where we were ready to give up. We put it in the Toronto Film Festival. I guess it was, and it got a very good reaction and screening there. And Ben Barenholtz, who was really an interesting guy in the independent movie scene in New York, saw it there, and he had just started a company with a couple of guys in D.C. who were exhibitors. And then it was accepted at the New York Film Festival. That was a big thing. It was unusual that they take first movies, and so that was very helpful.
And at Sundance in 1985, Blood Simple won the Grand Jury Prize. And suddenly, everything changed. Hollywood took notice. Distributors started bidding. And before they knew it, their once rejected film had Circle Films as a distributor. The Coens had made it. And the most important thing is, every single investor got their money back 3 times over. Now, what the Coens did wasn't just pure luck. It was a blueprint that independent filmmakers can still use today. I'm actually doing the same thing right now. And just like the Coens, I made a fake trailer, except mine's wasn't for an existing script. It's for a film that doesn't even exist, and it's the biggest video on this channel. And based off that, we called it It Doesn't Exist. And we're taking the same approach as the Coens did, using the trailer to bring the movie to life, but we don't have to knock on doors in the blistering heat. Instead, we're using Kickstarter to fund the production. And if you want to be a part of it, check out the first pinned comment for the Kickstarter link and hit the Notify Me When Launch button. Or if you want to see the fake trailer yourself, click the screen here. See you next time.